Okay, today we're looking at 5th grade Common Core Review, Skill Work 8B. And we have 47 times 18. So we're going to multiply that vertically. 47 times 18. 7 times 8 is 56. We write the 6, carry the 5. 4 times 8 is 32, plus the 5 we carried is 37. Moving over to the 1, 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 4 is 4. Then we add these together, we get 6. 7 plus 7 is 14, write the 4, carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 4 is 8. So we have 846. Number 2, we have 4,591 divided by 3. 3 can go into 4 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 5. 3 can go into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. We get 0. This was the 5 we brought down. Now we bring down the 9. 3 can go into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down the 1. Okay, bring down the 1. So 3 is too big to go into 1, so it can go into 1 0 times. Okay, and then we have that 1 is, so we have to have something above that, and that's going to be a remainder 1. We used to write remainder 1, but now we write 1/3. So we have 1,530 and 1/3. 1,530 and 1/3. Number 3, we're dividing by powers of 10. So 10 to the first power is just 10. Okay. 10 to the second power means 10 times 10, which is 100. 10 to the third power means 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. Okay, so here we're dividing by 10. So we move our decimal one place to the left, 0.453. Here we're dividing by 10 to the second power. So dividing by 100, we move our decimal 2 places to the left. And in that empty space, we put a 0. So we have 0.0453. Here we're dividing by 10 to the third power. So we move our decimal 3 places to the left, 1, 2, 3. And then in each of those spaces, we put a 0. So we have 0.00453. Next, we're multiplying by powers of 10. Multiplying by powers of 10 is like multiplying by 10 to the second is 100. 10 to the third is 1,000. 10 to the first is 10. So here we're moving our decimal 2 places to the right. Here we're moving our decimal 3 places to the right. Here we move our decimal 1 place to the right. So 2 places to the right, 1, 2. This will give us 805. 3 places to the right, 1, 2, and then in the empty space 3, we put a 0. So 3 places to the right will be 1,620. And then 1 place to the right, our decimal is here. We move it here, add a 0. So this becomes 890. A restaurant used 21.4 cups of flour to make 100 servings of pancakes. How many cups of flour are used in 1 serving of pancakes? So we're 21.4 cups per serving. So we want cups in 1 serving. So it's cups per serving. So it's 21.4 divided by 100. So if we're dividing by 100, we move our decimal 1, 2 places to the left because there are 2 zeros here. 1, 2, 2 factors of 10. This is 0.214 cups of flour per serving, or about 1/4 of a cup. Okay, moving on to number 5, order from the least to greatest. So all of these have the whole number 4, so they all have a 4, so that's in common. So then we're going to look at the 10th place. So this is 4.0, this is also 4.0. These are all larger. This is a 1, that's a 5, that's a 5. So let's look at the 2 smallest ones first. Okay, so they both have a 0 in the 10th place. So we're going to go ahead and look at the 100th place because those are not the same. We have a 5 in the 100th place here. We have a 0 in the 100th place here. 0 is smaller in the 100th place. So the 4.005 is the smallest. And then 4.05 would be next. Okay, so this is done, this is done. Now, if you think about this as money, this would be $4 and 1/2 of 1 cent. This would be $4.05. So it makes sense that this is smaller. Again, if you think of it like money, this would be $4.50 cent. This would be $4.05. Okay, then we move on. This one has a 1 in the 10th place. These two both have a 5. So the one that has a 1 in the 10th place is smaller. So 4.15 was next. And then moving on to these two, they both have a 5 in the 100th place. So that's the same. Then we move on to the 1000th place. This one has a 5. This one has nothing, which would be a 0. So the 4.50 would be smaller than the 4.55. So next is 4.5. And the largest number is 4.55. And then moving on to the next set of numbers, again, they all have the same whole number. They're all 2. Okay, so then we look at the 10th place. The first two numbers have a 9. So we'll come back to those in a moment because those are larger. The next 3 numbers all have 2.5. Okay, they all have a 5 in the 10th place. So we'll look at the 100th place. This one has a 0 in the 100th place. This one has a 1 in the 100th place. And this one has a 9 in the 100th place. So this one will be smallest, 2.5. Okay, and then the next one has 2.51. This one has 2.59. Obviously, 2.51 is smaller than 2.59. So we look at 2.51 is next. 2.591 is a little bit larger. Actually, they had 2.51, 2.5. Sorry, I got these two. I thought I already did this one. So that's why I do the check mark. I almost skipped this one. So again, we come to these two, but 2.59 and 2.591 are the next two numbers. I don't have a check mark there yet. This one is smaller. If this were money, it would be $2.59. If this were money, it'd be $2.59.1. Okay, so 2.59 is next. And 2.591 is after that. Oh, I already did. Okay. I was not double counting there. And then next, the largest ones have the 9s in the 10th place. So this is 2.9. That is a little bit smaller than 2.95. If this were money, it would be $2.90. If this were money, it would be $2.95. So 2.9 and then 2.95. Okay, number 6, we need to write each decimal in word form. So this will be 45. And then we pronounce the decimal as the word and, so 45 and. Then we go to the number, it's 91, and the last digit used is in the thousandths place. So we would say 91 thousandths. Then moving on to the next number, we would say 6 and then this is 782 is how we read the number, and the last number is in the thousandths place. So 6 and is the decimal place. So we read the decimal place as and, or the decimal point as and. 782 thousandths. So again, we read the number after the decimal as if it's a whole number, 782, but then we follow it with the place value of the last digit. The 2 is in the thousandths place, so we say thousandths. Okay, next. Number 7 asks us to locate 27 hundredths on the number line. This is 2/10, this is 3/10, so it's fair to assume that this is counting by hundredths. So we can check that though by labeling it. This would be 21 hundredths, 22 hundredths, 23 hundredths, 24 hundredths, 25 hundredths, 26 hundredths, 27 hundredths, and so on. Okay, and then to label our 27 hundredths, we just find the 27 hundredths and plot our point right there, 27 hundredths. So it's 1, 2, 3 tick marks to the left of 0.3. This is 2700ths. And then number 8, the Brown family drove 425 miles on Tuesday and 85 miles on Wednesday. How many more times did they drive on Tuesday than on Wednesday? So I'm thinking 80, 400, I'm thinking around 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and check that. But 425 divided by 85 is how we'll get the answer. 425 divided by 85. And we want to know how many times 85 can go into 425. My estimate is 5, but I'm just going to work that out over here to check. Okay, so I'll need to multiply it anyway. 85 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Write the 5, carry the 2. 5 times 8 is 40, plus the 2 we carried is 42. So yes, 5 times as much. 5 times 85, which we just did over on the side in our guess and check, is 425. So 5. So 5 times as far. Five times as far on Tuesday as on Wednesday. Okay. All right. And so that is Common Core State Standards 5th grade math review. Lesson 8B.